Hello and welcome back to MacUG. This is the second lecture of Control System Engineering. In the first lecture, we talked briefly about what is control system, its major components, and the two major configurations that were open and closed loop control system. In this lecture, we're going to start with the daily life example of a control system, and based on that example, we are going to try to define the analysis and design objectives of a control system that are basically the two major responses, the transient response and the steady state response. Finally, we are going to try to define the stability of a system based on certain examples and its importance in overall design process. Now let's start with the example of a 15-story building. There is an elevator having a pink guy in it, and the motion of the elevator is being controlled by a pulley that is totally automated and installed at the top of the building. In order to understand the transient response of a system, we need a plot of velocity versus time. Now let's say the guy wants to move from the ground floor to any top floor. So the elevator has to achieve a certain maximum velocity in order to move. Now let's say in this case we have a maximum velocity of 3 units. There are certain different ways that this velocity can be achieved. In the first case, let's say the velocity is being designed to be achieved quite quickly, but that would be very uncomfortable for the guy in the elevator, as the acceleration is too much and it's taking 1 unit of time to get to the maximum velocity. Now we can also design the system in such a way that it's taking too long to get to the maximum velocity, and the guy might get too impatient as it is taking 2.5 unit of time to get to the maximum velocity of 3 units. Now, so in that way we need to design the system that is too smoothly accelerated so that the guy won't be having any issues with the system, as in this case it is taking neither too fast or neither too slow. So it is a smooth acceleration and taking 1.5 unit of time to get to the maximum velocity. Now what is the transient response? So transient response is the change between two equilibrium position. The first equilibrium position in this case was the velocity of 0. The second equilibrium position is the velocity of 3 units. So we can say that the transient response is the change from one steady state to another steady state, as it is said that the response of a system to a change from an equilibrium or steady state. So it is the response while changing from one equilibrium or steady state to another equilibrium or steady state, as in this case the first steady state was the velocity of 0 units and the second steady state was the velocity of 3 units. So this change is the response, or response while this change is the transient response. Let's have a look at the steady state response. For that we are taking the same case in a different scenario. Now the y-axis represents the floor, nor the velocity in this case. Let's say the guy wants to move from the ground floor to the 3rd floor. So there are two steady states involved in this case. The first one is the ground floor and the second one is the 3rd floor. These two are the steady states. And our transient response would be the motion between one steady state to the other steady state. That would be from the ground floor to the 3rd floor. And the steady state response would be the response of the system at a certain steady state. Like for example, for the 3rd state, we are setting two limits, that is one the lower limit and the upper limit, which are defined for the certain steady states. Now if the system design follow those limits, then we would say that the system is valid or it is up to the task. Otherwise, if the floor crosses the 3rd floor upper limit, or it remains behind the lower limit of a certain steady states, and the elevator doesn't reach that limit, then we need to design it correctly. Now the response that would be at a certain steady states, like in this case for the 3rd floor, if the elevator crosses the upper limit or stays behind the lower limit of the 3rd floor, the door won't be able to open, or the guy won't be able to move out of the elevator. The difference between the actual value and the desired value at a steady state is known as error. This error is sometimes termed as steady state error, as it is at a certain steady state. So we can say that the response of the system when steady state conditions have been reached after an excitation. So the excitation was the movement from the ground floor to the third floor, and then the response of the system in steady state conditions have been reached. So the steady state conditions have reached, that means it is between the upper and lower limits, so the conditions have been reached, and whatever the response of the system is, then we would call it as the steady state response. The difference between the actual and desired condition is called the steady state error. So the actual condition and the desired condition, which was exactly the third floor, and the actual would be a little bit error in that, so that would be our steady state error. Moving on to the stability of a system. We are taking an example of a ship floating in water. Now for the ship to be stable, we say that the center of gravity should be lower than the height of the matter center. Now, if this is the case, our ship would be able to float correctly. And if this is not the case and the height of matter center is lower than the height of center of gravity, our ship would get inverted and it won't be able to float in the water. Now, if you are trying to design a system, an automated or control system for the motion of a ship to move in a certain paths with a certain acceleration, you are trying to design the steady state response as well as the transient response for a ship. How would you do that if it is not even stable? How would you design a system or motion, an automated system for a ship if it is inverted and it is not even able to float? So this shows the importance of the stability in an automated system. Let's take another example of a simple pendulum. This is the most general example used to explain stability. Now, there are three equilibrium states in this system. The first one, the two are the peaks of the pendulum, and the other one is the mean position, shown by the black bob in the middle. Now, as it follows those limits, because the bob won't be able to cross the peak position in a simple pendulum, it won't be able to cross those limits. Whenever pushed to the side, it would stay at that limit and it won't be able to cross it. That means it follows those limits, so we can say that it would be stable. The transient response in this case would be our motion between the three equilibrium states. That would be our transient response, and we can obviously design it because it will be able to follow those limits, the steady state limits. Now, the steady state response would be the response of the system at the three steady states, the two peaks and the middle equilibrium position. So we can design everything for a simple pendulum. But in other case, if we try to make it inverted, so obviously the limits set are the same, but when pushed to the sideways, the bob won't be able to follow the limit and it would cross the limit and it would go all the way to 180 degree. That means it does not follow the limit, so we call it the state of instability or unstable, and that's why we won't be able to design any response for this system. So that concludes our today's lecture for the steady state, the transient and the stability of overall system. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and like. If you have any problem, please do comment. I'll try to answer that. Good luck. Bye bye.